This is the Novkit dual outlet timer. This is going to be great for holidays. You can do indoor, you can outdoor. This is an updated model. I've actually reviewed this exact same product previously, and they have an updated version, and so I'm going with this. So in the box, you're gonna get basically an instruction manual, super easy to use, follow instructions. I'll walk you through all of that. And then you're going to get the dual outlet timer. So both on the inside and outside, right? You can see there's also grounded plugs. So this is great for outdoor lights, indoor Christmas tree lights, like stuff like that. That's what we actually used ours for. And then you'll have a clock and a setup right here. You can see all the buttons. We'll walk kind of through that, but this is timed, repeat, combine, clock on, week, minute, second, and then your enter button, which will take you to new screens. The beautiful part about this is you can run different timers. It's a 3-in-1 timer. And again, this is the WT322 model, but we had Christmas tree lights plugged into one and then some other lamps plugged into the other one. And this is amazing because you have it plugged into the wall and you don't have to worry about it, right? So this actually will be your timer. So it'll turn on your Christmas lights. You can do days of the week. You can do times, like maybe, you know, at 5 o'clock when it gets a little bit dark, or 7 o'clock, depending on where you live. So I'm actually gonna walk you through the timer, and then I'll just use probably just a lamp that I have behind me. There's a little right here lamp that you can see right there. I'll just plug that in and kind of show you what that looks like when the timer just clicks on. Really super simple and easy to use. Let's flip this around and I'll turn it over and kind of walk you through some of the instructions and show you what that looks like as we're setting up the timer. Okay, so you can see here, you've got all the product information, the hertz, all that stuff. You've got all your buttons and basically all of the things that will show you how to do that, right? So clock on, long press the current time. This is where you can actually change the current time. And there's a little tiny button right here. This is if you want to reset everything, right? So I'm gonna do, you can see here, it is 24-hour time or military time, depending on, and all the way back around. Just want to get it right on. If you hold it down, it kind of does a sprint. And then when you get to the correct time, you just hit enter. Now let's see. Oh, I've got the wrong day of the week. So again, I'm just going to hold the clock on, and we're going to go, oops, back around. Apologies. You can see right here that the day of the week is moving across the top. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe I'm too, there we go. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll click enter. So we've got the time set up. So that's the first part that is easy to set up. Okay, so as we go through this, when we talk about the 3-in-1 times, there's a couple different things that you can do. I'm gonna actually do this, but I just wanna tell you before we do it. So you've gotta have the time clock set up here. You can go through that. Then the first one is, the first function, right, is your weekly on and off timing. So you can set basically, I want it to come on at 10:30 and go off at 2:30. This could be, we've used them on our frog lamp, on our grow lights. We've used them on so many different things, right? So basically anything that you would want a timer on lights, so you don't have to go in and turn them on and off, you could use these. So holidays obviously are coming up. And then the second function right here is continuous interval timing. So what you can do is you can have this actually, the light can turn on for 15 seconds on and then 15 minutes off. This is what we actually have our frog timer on. So we have a lamp, basically it's like a heat lamp, comes on for 20 minutes and then stays off for 30 minutes, stays on for 20 minutes, turns off for 30 minutes. And then the last one kind of is a combination of all of those things, where you basically get function 3, which is combining 1, which is like a regular timer, and then also the alternate. So I'm not going to walk through all 3 of them because the instructions are here, but I do just want to show you with the lamp, the timer, and I'm going to do this interval one because that's the easiest one to do and for you to see in the video as I'm walking through and kind of explaining this. And I'll give you my final thoughts like I've always do. Again, I've had 4 of these already. I've used them for multiple things, and I'll kind of give me my final thoughts on the product itself. Okay, again, so we're gonna do function 2, which is basically the interval timing, and we're just gonna walk through it, right? So we're gonna short press repeat, like that. And then we wanna do it for, I'm gonna do just 15 seconds just to show you. So once you get your first time in, you can see there, We're gonna hit enter, and then we're gonna go down to our bottom one. And I'm actually just gonna have this for, this is minutes, hold on seconds, maybe 20 seconds. So I can show you 35 seconds of time. I'm gonna hit enter, and then you'll see I've got everything here, and then I press enter one more time, and it is actually running. So there's nothing plugged in to this outlet, but this would be, something would be turned on, and then it would click off, and you see the bottom timer actually goes on. So it'll count both timers, so you can look at it at any time to see what your interval is. And again, you can go minutes, seconds, right, hours. If you want to go more than that, you can do all of that. You would just change that time here. So let me get this plugged in and basically just show you the lamp turning on and off in this interval time. Okay, so you can see clearly the timer's going down. When this turns off, basically, which is the gap time, this little red light will turn on that shows you it's giving you power. You'll see this kick on, and the lamp basically turns on. You can see the countdown there, 10, 9, 8. When it gets to 0, this will turn off. So basically what this is throwing energy through whatever plug, right? So, and this is dual, so I could have something on this side, something on this side, and just rotate it through. So super easy to set up, super easy to, there's no installation, right? You just plug in whatever you're charging. So let me just turn this around, give you my final thoughts where we've used it. So we have 4 of these in our house, and I'll try and give you all the instances and all of the real life, real world examples of what we use it for. Final thoughts. So these are absolutely incredible. They're great because they do things so you don't have to remember them, and they basically just automate things. So the 4 examples that I will use that we've used it for, one was we used it for a terrarium or a frog cage with the light. So the light would go on in the daytime, and then at nighttime it would turn off. The second way that we use these is when we had planters. We had basically indoor grow boxes to grow some flowers during the winter months. And we just turned that on, and then it would turn off automatically. We didn't have to mess with it. The third thing basically is holidays. So for Halloween and for Christmas, we have Christmas lights, we have outdoor lights, different things that we have the timers on. And so those would just come on at a certain time, turn off at nighttime, like maybe 10, 10:30, 11. And then the next day they would just turn on. And so those automatically go on. You could think of other reasons to use them. It's a great product, really well made. This new updated version gives you that third function, which allows you to do function 1 and function 2 at the same time, which is great. So appreciate them reaching out to me and kind of just updating this product. Again, this is the Novkit, and I just want to show you right here, 7-day dual outlet interval timer, and this is the WT322 model. Thank you so much for watching.